After dieting for 60 days, I'm still not happy with how lean I am. So I'm gonna try Dr. Mike Israetel's Pro Shredding Diet for 30 days.
You have some higher days for carbs and some lower days for carbs throughout the week, and you do a bunch of low days, do a bunch of high days, do a bunch of low days, do a bunch of high days, and that's how you do your entire diet.
This unique approach to eating will have me strategically consuming tons of bread and other carbs. Could cycling your carbs be the best way to lose belly fat and get shredded abs? So I put it to the test for 30 days, and what happened to my body was actually insane. So it is Monday, February 26th. Now, I got a DEXA body scan earlier and having it 14.3% body fat. Here's a physique, relax. And now we're gonna weigh in, and we are at 205.4 pounds. Let the shreds begin. So I just watched Dr. Mike Israetel Renaissance Periodization's video on carbohydrate cycling, took a bunch of notes. I am prepared for this challenge. Now, Dr. Mike recommends you do a split between lower carb days and higher carb days. So I decided I'm gonna do an 8-2 split. Now on my low carb days, I'm in a slight deficit of 750 calories. So I'll be eating about 2,600 calories a day.
During the time that you are imposing these low days, you have relatively poor muscle growth and recovery, relatively higher systemic fatigue increases in hunger, and generally decreases the longer you do these low days in sleep quality.
On my higher carb / higher calorie days, I'll be in a 250 calorie surplus, which for me will be eating about 3,500 calories a day. Because I really don't want to have to think for the next 8 low calorie days, I've decided we're going to eat the exact same thing every single day. We got ass-fed steak, blueberries, bananas, salmon, sweet potatoes, spinach, carrots, eggs, chicken. Although I was skeptical eating this many carbs on a shred would work, Dr. Mike promised me pro-level shreds
to give you elite pro-level results.
I decided to trust the process, starting with the first day tomorrow. Eggs, cream of rice. Post-workout biggest meal of the day, 10 ounces grass-fed steak, 3 eggs, banana, oats, blueberry, and peanut butter. We got chicken breast, sweet potato, bok choy, carrot juice, and of course drizzled with truffle hot sauce. Super green salad, 6 ounces salmon. I am starving, and it is only day 1, and I'll be eating like this every day until I die from a paper cut because I'm so shredded. So these 2 meals are both about 1,000 calories, but they are definitely not created equal. Obviously, there's a huge focus on calories and macros for Dr. Mike's diet, but I'm choosing to fill this with what I call the Superhuman Diet foods. There's a big difference in how I'm gonna feel when I eat this compared to this quarter pounder with cheese, although I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of smell good. By day 6, I realized getting shredded definitely comes at a cost, as I had to send my wife back to the grocery store to get a bunch of grass-fed steaks, some more wild-caught salmon, and a few more of my favorite shredding foods. More steak. How much does this all cost? In my opinion, the first week of starting any diet is typically the easiest. The week before, I had a terrible week of eating, consuming tons of junk food. So the first week, we kept it fairly low calorie. I ate almost the exact same thing every single day, but I will admit I was starting to get those cravings and was very excited for my first high carb day. So I know with math, I'm gonna have approximately an 18,000 calorie deficit over the next 30 days, which comes out to about 5 pounds of fat. We know this because we're gonna be in about a 750 calorie deficit for 24 of the next 30 days. Now, that may not seem like a lot. Keep in mind, this is 1 pound of fat. Out to dinner with my wife on my anniversary was a painful reminder that in America, shitty food temptations are everywhere. It is the night of my 2-year wedding anniversary. I'm out at dinner right now, and I had very strategically set aside about 1,200 total calories. First of all, everyone say hi to my beautiful wife, Kathy. She puts up with me on a day-to-day basis, and we got some amazing sashimi, super low calorie. We got some tuna, we got the entrees on the way. All right, so the entrees have arrived. We got the filet mignon pepper steak. And by the way, I'm at Tao in Las Vegas, probably my favorite place in all of Vegas. So if you guys ever come here, definitely recommend it. And then my wife got the crispy snapper, and it's amazing, although it's fried, so probably won't be eating that. So here I am on the bench press, and it was very hard bench pressing 275 for 5 sets of 3, weighing 2 pounds less this week than I did last week, but this is how we increase our relative strength. And just because we are getting shredded doesn't mean we can't eat some fast food. This is one of my go-tos, grilled teriyaki chicken and white rice from Panda Express. Bad news, at least for me, I'm on a road trip right now to LA. We got a big production tomorrow, and it's gonna be nearly impossible to do my high carb day today. It's just annoying to eat that much food when you're on a 4-hour drive. So I woke up in downtown Los Angeles on day number 10. I knew this was gonna be a really challenging day. I ordered an Uber Eats breakfast. So I had 2 egg white grilled chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A to start the day, getting about 50 grams of protein. And then I spent the entire day at a video production shoot for my company, Alpha Lion. So I wanted to create a company that I would trust, that I would feel comfortable taking. Meta set up a really cool production for us all day. Luckily, they catered some incredibly healthy food, so I loaded up my plate with chicken breast and some salmon and some potatoes, stayed on track. This is definitely at least 120 grams of carbs. Sourdough bread is the best bread if you're gonna eat bread. It has prebiotics and it's loaded with some nice carbs. We got egg and hummus on here. This is Nutella banana toast with pistachio. It's gonna be very easy to be in a small surplus after this meal.
Taste test, 1 to 10.
11. So I had the next 2 meals out. First up, we had some sushi. I went to one of my favorite poke bowl places, Sweetfin. I love poke. It's got the rice, obviously higher in carbs, and you can still get in that nice clean protein. I had some salmon and I had some albacore. And then we went to our friend's restaurant in downtown Los Angeles with the team. I ordered this like all you can eat entree option. So I loaded up on lots of spaghetti plates. I got in some steak to get in that high quality protein, and we had a lovely little Friday night with my wife and Team Alpha Lion. Today was pretty easy to hit my 2,600 calories because I was sitting in pain getting a tattoo, and after my tattoo on our 4-hour drive back to Vegas, I became very hungry and luckily had 1,200 calories left.
How you feeling?
Very hungry. So I got my fix of orange chicken from Panda Express to satisfy my cravings. So this is the craziest part about this diet. I have to eat 480 grams of carbs. That's a box of pasta, 10 pieces of bread, 3 potatoes, 2 cups of rice, and 4 kiwi. This is what 480 grams of clean carbs would look like. So we're changing up the post-workout meal, getting a little sick of red meat. So we have a very strategic 700 post-workout calories here. We got about 200 calories from sourdough bread, 100 calories from spread avocado, 150 from sockeye salmon, and about 250 from 4 organic eggs. Let the gains continue. Tastes like So you're about to start a diet. This glass represents how much lean muscle mass you have, and this glass represents how much fat you have. Now, most people make the mistake of trying to starve themselves. So what happens is they lose a little bit of fat, okay? But here's the real issue. They lose a ton of muscle. So their fat barely moved, they lost a ton of muscle, now their metabolism is straight up Now, when we do calorie cycling, this represents our muscle mass, this represents our fat loss. Watch what happens. We kept all of our muscle, and we're at 0% body fat now, and looks like we're dead. So we do calorie cycling to keep all of our hard-earned lean muscle mass, keep our metabolism healthy, and most importantly, lose all of that stubborn body fat efficiently.
This push-pull system, push the deficit, then pull back in it and enter into a surplus, allows you to go hard, then recover, then go hard again. The entire purpose of the surplus is to buy you more time in an effective deficit.
The second week was extremely challenging. Obviously, traveling just throws your routine completely off. I was traveling to LA for work. I had to rely on Uber Eats. Day after day, I followed my low-calorie diet like it was my job to make Dr. Mike proud. Successful challenge. Regardless of how tired I was from moving more and eating less. I'm tired. Temptation is everywhere, and I'm having some very, very dark thoughts today. I'm just on my damn Instagram page. I get hit with crumble cookie. How do they know that I love key lime pie, and I would love nothing more than a coconut lime cookie right now. So we only have a couple weeks to take off all of our clothes and make Dr. Mike extremely proud. I cannot give in to these dark temptations. I'm gonna take a little product called Cravings Killer. This is from my company Alpha Line, and this is going to help massively with those sugar cravings. I have never been so hungry in my entire life. We just finished a workout and I just could not take my normal diet anymore. I had to go and get wings. The wing lady has emerged. Oh, I'm so excited. Got the wings?
Yeah.
So these delicious chicken wings right here are what's called a high calorie food. So because I only get about 2,600 calories today, we're gonna measure them on the food scale. All I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna see how many total grams. So we're at 220, 290, 330, one more. 380 grams of chicken wings. So I'm gonna go on Google, I'm gonna type how many calories are in 380 grams of chicken wings, and bam, it is as easy as that. So I woke up today feeling so depleted and so hungry, sort of had a case of the
buckets. It's gonna be amazing.
And went a little bit overboard on carbs. Started off with some bread and salmon, then I had 2.5 mochi nuts, then I had more bread, then we made some delicious homemade pasta with some lemon juice and olive oil on the pasta, kept it sort of clean, and then I had more carbs left, so I decided to have a cinnamon roll, followed by more pasta and more carbs to finish a day at over 4,000 calories and about 500 grams of carbs. The pumps following that high carb day were insane. I felt bigger, my muscles looked more full, and that is exactly why we do these high carb days. And now my body is ready for 8 low carb days in a row. So 3 weeks into this diet, and I must admit, it feels like I'm eating a lot more carbohydrates than I would normally eat when I'm shredding. A lot of times when I cut, I'm conscious of keeping my insulin levels low and consuming carbohydrates that are going to not spike my blood sugar. So eating tons of sourdough bread and stuff that spikes my insulin is a little bit counterintuitive. So I'm really looking forward to seeing my actual results from this experiment. Sprinkle the chicken. For the next few days, it was pretty smooth sailing after indulging in 480 grams of carbs. I was excited to burn off more fat and follow a super clean diet again, eating lots of grass-fed meats, veggies, and my new favorite, sourdough bread. So we got 6 days left of the diet. Usually by now I would be really grumpy and hungry and irritable, but just having those strategic high carb days has made it so much easier. My training intensity was insane following the high carb days. On day 26, I woke up feeling so damn hungry, so we decided to have a little case of the
buckets
and satisfy my cravings on this high calorie day. First I had some pho with my wife.
Come on, dude.
Then the grand finale. Well deserved, high carb day, high calorie day. We're making it count. I wanna try this one. So good. But the good news is I felt super strong after all those carbs and decided to go for a chest workout and even hit 225 for 14 reps. Not bad while dieting. Rice, poke, salmon poke, tuna poke, mochi nuts. All right, this. No more junk food. We're eating super clean, only meat, fish, eggs, fruit, and vegetables the rest of the challenge. And I may just try this for 2 straight weeks if my body feels good on it. On day 28, I really regretted the fuckets. I felt fat and bloated waking up after back-to-back junk food days. So today we probably had our lowest calorie day of the challenge. I wanted to try and offset as much damage as possible because I have the body fat test in only a few days. 2 more days of eating as clean as possible, and we wrapped up 30 days of trying Dr. Mike Israetel's calorie cycling diet. Now let's see what happened to my body.
Arrived.
Right here.
So today is test day. We're gonna find out what happened to my body after eating all that bread and all those mochi nuts. It is DEXA day. So we checked into DEXA and I was feeling anxious. I was really hoping that I was leaner than I was 30 days ago. So for reference, I was 14.3% body fat 30 days ago. And after 7 minutes, it was time to reveal my results. By the way, it looks 0.7 pounds more. Okay. and unfortunately, I gained 1 pound of fat and my lean muscle mass stayed the same. My body fat went from 14.3 to 14.7. Now, I feel like I look more ripped in the mirror, but the DEXA scan does not lie, and carbohydrate/calorie cycling clearly did not work very well for me. So I have a few theories. Number one, the last 30 days has been a little bit stressful for me work-wise and life-wise. Obviously, cortisol could lead to fat gain. Number two, the high carb, high calorie days, I may have got a little out of control. I tried my best to track my calories, but I will admit the last couple days on those high calorie days, just eating all those mochi nuts, eating all that bread and oil may not have been the wisest choice. Now, I know how to get shredded. I shred every single year, and I know it works for me. I tried doing something, it didn't work. Now, not to say don't listen to Dr. Mike. I think he is one of the best experts on YouTube, but this is such a classic example of just because one thing works for another person does not mean it is going to work for you. Hey, you. Did you miss any of the last episodes of Becoming Superhuman? You should probably check those out right now.